In Norse mythology, the god saw a prophecy, panicked immediately, and decided the best solution was to imprison a child, because nothing says wisdom like preemptive punishment. This is the story of Fenrir, and this is how the gods caused their own apocalypse. Fenrir, also called Fenrisulfar, was born to Loki, the god who specializes in bad ideas, and Angerboda, a giantess whose resume includes bringing doom. His siblings, a world-ending serpent, and the queen of the dead. So yes, this family reunion was never going to end well. But Fenrir himself, at first, harmless, a cub. The gods brought him to Asgard, raised him among themselves, and acted shocked when a wolf grew into a wolf. Only Tyr, god of law and courage, dared feed him, which, spoiler alert, will not end well for Tyr, the prophecy that ruined everything. The Norns, ancient weavers of destiny, issued a warning. Fenrir would one day help bring Ragnarok and personally eat Odin. The gods' response? Not reflection, not preparation, but imprisonment. Because if there's one thing prophecy hates, it's being ignored responsibly. The chains that couldn't do their job. The gods proposed a game, which is Norse mythology's favorite way to say trap. First chain, Leyding. It was thick, brutal, and shattered in seconds like a bad rope. Second, Dromi. Even thicker, even more embarrassing. At this point, the gods realized brute force wouldn't work. So naturally, they turned to deception. Third, Gleipnir, magic, lies, and one missing hand. It didn't look like a chain, because by now, honesty was no longer an option. The dwarves forged Gleipnir, a ribbon made of things that don't exist. Cat footsteps, mountain roots, fish breath. Fenrir immediately knew something was wrong, because unlike the gods, he was paying attention. He demanded assurance. Someone placed their hand in his mouth. Suddenly, no volunteers, except Tyr. The binding tightened, the promise broke, and Fenrir bit. Justice lost a hand that day, ironically, for lying. The gods gagged Fenrir with a sword because silencing consequences is easier than admitting fault. So be honest, who betrayed whom first? Fenrir is described as colossal. At Ragnarok, his jaws stretch from earth to sky. Dark fur, eyes that understand exactly what's been done to him. Symbolically, Fenrir represents nature that refuses control, fate that doesn't negotiate, and the awkward truth that power fears what it can't dominate. The chain is fear. The open jaw is silenced truth. The wolf is consequence, with teeth. Fenrir wasn't worshipped, no temples, no prayers, but he was respected. Vikings admired wolves for strength and defiance. Berserkers embodied that energy, less holy devotion, more please move out of the way. In modern Norse paganism, Fenrir is reinterpreted, not as evil, but as necessary destruction. Turns out chains make excellent symbols for breaking. Fenrir committed no crime before imprisonment. He was punished for a future he hadn't lived yet. The gods chose fear over trust, prophecy over responsibility, and then acted surprised when things went exactly as foretold. Fenrir isn't good. He isn't evil. He's the bill coming due. Some scholars call Ragnarok a self-fulfilling prophecy. Others see Fenrir as a natural disaster myth, a trauma narrative, a warning about authoritarian control. Modern psychology has a term for this: creating your own monster. The Norse called it destiny. At Ragnarok, Fenrir breaks free. He devours Odin, the same god who ordered his imprisonment. No speeches, no forgiveness, just fulfillment. Today, Fenrir dominates pop culture. God of War, Ragnarok, Marvel, Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, tattoos, metal, rebellion, iconography, the misunderstood monster, the chained force, the consequence nobody wanted to face. If you were imprisoned for what you might do, would you stay gentle, or would you become exactly what they feared? Subscribe for more gods, monsters, and uncomfortable myths. Next up, Jormungandr, Hell or Odin's worst decisions. Because in Norse mythology, fate doesn't care about intentions, and it always collects its debt.